Welcome to today's news bulletin.
What George B.'s approval tells us. Bush on Donald Trump on Republican politics. President Trump is the only thing standing between America and socialism, Texas State Commissioner George W. Bush, son of former Florida Governor Jeb Bush, told Dallas Morning News on Tuesday. He added that he would vote for Trump in November. It is clear that Republican politics are working, the younger Bush told the newspaper. This is big news because, well, it's Bush. Bush, who has long been the first family of Republican politics, is not a big fan of Trump. Pocket Bush announced in May 2016 that he would not vote for Trump in the general election after losing to Trump in the 2016 primaries, as a billionaire repeatedly mocked the former ruler as low energy. In a 2019 interview with CNN's David Axelrod, Jeep encouraged Trump's primary challenge. "It is essential to have a conversation about what it means to be conservative," he said. A New York Times report recently said that Jeb Bush has remained hesitant about whether to support Trump while his older brother, former President George W. Bush, will not be voting for Trump in 2020. A George Bush spokesman denied the report. He was completely formed. He retired from presidential politics and did not explain how he would vote, regardless of who the greater Bush plans to vote. There is little controversy that the family that produced two of the last three Republicans does not see an exact tie with the current White House occupant, and vice versa. Just last month, after George W. Bush released a video calling for national unity and shared sacrifice in the face of the coronavirus epidemic, Trump tweeted, "By, like this, way, I appreciate the message from former President Bush, but where was he accused during his call to put partisanship aside?" Fox and Friends was nowhere to be found in speaking against the biggest hoax in American history. Difficult feelings are back. Trump has long used Bush's image as the ultimate insiders to sharpen his foreign credentials. Trump responded in 2013, "We need another Bush in office as much as we need Obama for a third term. No more shrubs." As the 2016 campaign escalated, Trump focused on the Bush enclave, which was briefly seen in the lead in the early days of the race, with relentless attacks on his family's legacy. Trump said in a February 2016 debate, "The war in Iraq was a huge blunder. They lied. They said there were weapons of mass destruction. There were none of them. The Bush family fought." Trump does not give many answers to how to solve problems, Barbara Bush, the former First Lady and mother of George and Pocket, told CNN in 2016. "He kind of makes faces and says insulting things. He said terrible things about women, terrible things about the army. I don't understand why people do to him, that's why." Trump, because Trump did not apologize for all the things he said about Jeb and the Bush family during the elementary stage. And the Bush, while they were quieter than revulsion from Trump, never back off. So why, then, would George W. Bush not only say that he planned to vote for Trump, but also make a frank Trump offer? President Trump is the only thing standing between America and socialism, for a media organization? After all, Trump has repeatedly brutalized his father with deeply personal phrases. Trump retorted, and then deleted, a tweet saying #Jeb Bush should love illegal Mexicans because of his wife during the campaign as well. Jeb Bush's wife and George B. Bush's mother, Columba, are of Mexican descent. The answer? Pure and simple policy. George B. Bush is in a statewide office now. Yes. The Land Commissioner is a statewide elected office in Texas. While Texas does not set a limit for its rulers, Governor Greg Abbott has spent 8 years in office in 2022 and may monitor running for the Republican Open in 2024. There is already a group ambitious Republicans are ready and waiting to run. If this happens, or if Lieutenant Colonel Dan Patrick retires or decides to run for an open governor's seat, Bush desperately wants to be in the mix for either of these two offices. The simple truth, defined by George B. It is that there is no conceivable course for the Republican nomination for governor or assistant governor in Texas as less than a Trump supporter and voter. Despite all his troubles with broader voters, both in Texas and at the national level, Trump remains a fully respected figure among Republicans in Texas, and it is very hard to imagine that the change between now and 2022, even if the president is short in trying a second term next November. Also, not only do voters rebel against George B. Indeed, Trump will enjoy the opportunity, whether in office or outside, to hold on to the Bush family again by working to prevent George B. from winning a medal. Higher office nationwide. If you do not think that Trump vengeful enough to do exactly that, let me refer you to his entire life. So, George B. He is doing the only thing he can do to preserve his political future, step with Trump. By doing this, George B. supports a man who spent more than a year attacking his father, mother, uncle, and grandfather at every turn. Politics. Not for the faint of heart. Or the stomach.